We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what we have here is Frank's Red Hot, Extra Hot. It is real heat, real flavor, cayenne pepper sauce. And here's some chili with a kick. I don't generally prefer Louisiana style sauce than chili, if I'm being honest. Of course, the hot buffalo wings, which is, I would imagine, I can't actually pick that out, but it looks like a lot like just dump the sauce on wings, which, or maybe it's cooking them in, I don't know. A lot of people use this either for the wings or as a base or as a side. You can see the heat scale here, and they're calling the original medium and this one extra hot. That is probably stretching things, but there are recipes. This is kind of a good idea. Like, this is a smart thing for them to do, I think. And you can see eggs, I wouldn't probably use this. Steak, I probably wouldn't use this. Ribs, probably not. Soups, maybe. Stews, maybe. Baked beans, possibly. Chicken, definitely. Pasta, depends on what's in it. Pizza, probably. Burgers, definitely not. And tacos, no sir. So, okay, what do we else? What else is here? Let's take a look here. The old ingredient panel. We have aged cayenne red peppers, vinegar, water, salt, natural flavor, which is extract, and garlic powder. So, it looks and acts and flows and everything just like the regular Frank's Red Hot, which, as I said in the review, to me has always been a bit creamy. Bit creamier than some of the you'll see. It's not, this is not, it flows. It's got a restrictor thing built into the cap, but it flows okay, but it's not watery like a lot of the other Louisiana styles. Pour it in there. So, see, it flattens out almost immediately. You can definitely smell the cayenne here. And it flows like it flows. It's loose. It's a very loose sauce. It's not watery though. It's holding to the sides of the spoon really well. It does have the typical nice red-orange coloring. So, I mean, it looks pretty normal. I mean, this is, a lot of people consider this as standard, the base, just to me, it's kind of an average, maybe below average sauce, the regular Frank's. And in fact, if I'm being honest, this is the first bottle of Frank's I've ever bought in my entire life. I've used it multiple times in restaurants and at other people's houses and stuff like that. I've never bought it myself until this bottle. So this is the very first. And I only bought it because this was extra hot and I thought it might be kind of fun, to get this one on there. I'm trying not to just make it just boutique sauces. We'll do some mass market stuff when it comes out as well, especially in the video series with snacks and stuff like that, where I try to get as best of a cross sampling as I can. With sauces, though, for a long time when I was doing the blog, I expected a certain level of heat, and stuff like this in the variants, stuff like that, was never going to approach it. But now I'm doing the video series and that type of thing. We want to try to get something that has a bigger cross section. I mean, Frank's is, like I said in the review, probably maybe slightly behind Tabasco for name value, but it's up there, in terms of national sauces and hot sauces in general. So, all right. Anyway, let's get to this. So this tastes Similar to Frank's. Frank's is just your basic sort of cayenne pepper sauce. There's not really a lot of, even with the garlic powder, there's not really a lot of that through there. It tastes, invariably, it always tastes cheap to me. It just tastes like, there's some effort to smooth it out a little bit, but it tastes really cheap. This one also has a little pop of heat on your tongue that's not present with the regular Frank's. Just a little sprinkling there. It is not. I can't remember if I gave this a 0 or 1, but as I'm speaking now, it's almost completely dissipated, so I think I probably gave it a 0. This one, I will say, is closer to the flavor of regular Frank's, which is what I think they were going for, than the Texas Pete Hotter is to Texas Pete. Texas Pete Hotter wrecked a good Texas Pete sauce, just trashed it. This one is what I think they were trying for, which is just to have a slight little burst of heat, but to have the flavor be very recognizable, more or less as Frank's. Now, I'm just not a huge fan of Frank's. I just think there's a lot better stuff out there. And if there's nothing else there, I mean, I'll use it. But like I said, this is the first bottle of Frank's I've ever bought in my entire life, and honestly, it probably will be the last. So I have right here, Devour. Let's just take that out. The Devour white cheddar mac and cheese with bacon, and this is a sauce that is very, or it's a macaroni and cheese. It's a food anyway. Very rich, very, very strong tasting, and it's super creamy, very heavy, and I don't think I can actually eat a whole one of these without some sauce, which I would say about most macaroni and cheese, if I'm being honest. So let's blast this here. Gotta be a little bit careful so we don't overpower it. So you don't have to worry about heat. I mean, we can use as much as we want as far as flavor goes, but so there's kind of what I put on there, and let's stir it in. And hopefully we have enough of a cheese sauce to kind of mute and blunt that just a touch. We want a good combination here. And this one I'm giving, this is really a huge consumable advantage because, like I said, this one is just such a bold flavor that there is a slight touch of bitterness that you're left with from the extract in this. And I think hopefully with this nice creamy cheese sauce that shouldn't be an obstacle. So that is about right on the money. Might got a couple splashes too much though. It's about right. This really works well in terms of this. This is a good sauce for it because the initial flavor melds so well with this macaroni and cheese and bacon, and then you still have enough of the remnant of taste so that the little bit of heat that's kind of, it's a very, 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 very fast linger. Like, it's very slight. But so I mean, this is really the best that this is going to get is a food like this, where you get the initial sort of vinegar cutting in that sauce a little bit, and then you get a little bit of heat at the end, but it manages to blunt the extract sauce quite nicely. The extract flavor, sorry. Not the extract sauce, the extract flavor. You know, I like this idea. I will say that. I like the idea of giving somebody just that little punch, just that little blast, and then having it wander away and just be done. So that they get just this momentary burst, just this little thrill, but it's not going to keep their mouth on fire. I like the idea a lot. And actually, you know, so I said this is probably a gateway sauce for a lot of people that start developing an interest in being chili heads and stuff. And I think this is a nice second step to the original. And I think in that respect, it actually works really, really well. But flavor wise, like, I don't know, I can't quite decide if I'm going to use this bottle or not. I'll probably use more of it. You know, this is this is a 12-ounce bottle. I mean, this could conceivably last a while, and maybe a quarter of the way into it at this point. But just, I don't love it. I don't even like it. I think it's just okay. So I probably will use it for a while. One of the things I like to do is doctor a barbecue sauce, and that's one of the things I love Louisiana style for. This will work really well for that. If I get to that, I mean, I probably will at some point. I'll probably do barbecue chicken or something like that. And I like to have, I don't like, barbecue sauce are too sweet for me. So I like to cut them a little bit with some, you know, Louisiana style sauces. Get a little vinegar in there, get a little bit of cayenne, a little tinge of heat. It just kind of cuts some of that richness and sweetness out of barbecue. Most of them are just too sweet for me, but I mean, this one, you know, it could show up in a few of these quarterly wing things. 12 ounces is a lot of, you know, especially for Louisiana style when you're using it, you know, more or less by the drop. That's kind of quite a bit. So very pronounced value. The value of this is quite a bit better than is the Texas Pete Hotter, but it's kind of fun to compare and contrast some of the commercial world national sauces entries into things. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, this is way more worthwhile than I expected going in, particularly given, you know, my feelings on the Frank's Hot Red Hot Original. So, but yeah, there it is. Frank's Red Hot, Extra Hot, Hot Sauce. A lot of hots. A lot of hots in that title. Now go forth in peace. Serve the flame.